1950 hockey skates. My father's, matter of fact. What do these have to do with the message I shared with your son earlier Monday? I look forward to sharing that with you in just a moment. Good day, everyone. It's Mr. Quinlan here from Michigan International Prep School. As you know, I introduced myself last week, the virtual learning coach from MIPS, serving USA Hockey and your son. Had a wonderful opportunity to push out a message earlier in the week to your son about the sharpening of their saw, and they wouldn't dare go out into the ice with that, and I'll share more about that later. But I want to share with you every Friday or maybe Saturday morning, and try to get it out every Friday, kind of what we've been up to this past week and really what may be in our radar to inform you of happenings with your son's academic growth. So with that being said, we have a full agenda here, but I'll breeze through a lot of this. You can pause anytime. I'll give as much detail in the video. Please feel free to follow up with a message to me or an email, and I really appreciate those of you who did earlier in the week. So my message earlier in the week, the sharpening of the saw, was really simply, you wouldn't dare go out in the rink without sharp skates, as you wouldn't put on the most optimal, if that's such a word, phrase, gear possible to perform at your highest peak when you perform out on the ice. And my challenge to them earlier in the week was, are you doing the same for your body, your mind, your soul, not just your academia, but the whole person, the whole inclusive person, in which they're facing some of the distractions of today's world to stay in laser focus of being the best version of themselves. So if you're interested in looking and maybe following any of my message I sent out to your sons, you're welcome to go to Hughes Tip. It's my YouTube channel. Hit subscribe. I'm really not out monetizing anything. It's just a place that I can house our communications with your son and with you. So feel free to navigate and identify some of the videos I've sent out earlier to them. So that being said, I really want to open up. Mrs. Vollmers was communicating with me earlier in the week of a wonderful speaker that came in and talked to your sons about eliminating some of those distractions to be the peak performer that you seek to be, not only in hockey but in life. Jimmy Hughes. Jimmy Hughes, as some of you may know, maybe you know Jimmy, has three sons who involve high-level hockey, and he speaks obviously and works in the hockey field himself. Spoke to the young men about eliminating some of those, what I call time wasters, distractions in their life. And so what I want to share with you today is that I want to take any type of support that Ms. Vollmers is putting and USA Hockey that is providing for your son, is I want to still use those to continue to support them in their academic growth also. So that one I take to heart, obviously, and my message coming up this week, by the way, is kind of springboarding from Jimmy's message to the young men about eliminating those distractions. But I really want to talk to them. How are they controlling the day versus the day controlling them? And what are they actually doing in their first 45 minutes, hour of their day, and how they can optimize that also. So just continue supporting what USA Hockey is already delivering is one of my roles as a MIPS representative for your son. So also some academic updates for you, and most of you already know this. Lucas has been working closely with USA Hockey from last year. I've been brought on board to help Lucas with that, as his load and the work that he's doing with developing pathways for MIPS and our students is ever growing. So he communicated this to you already. Their fifth course, PE course, has already been shared with your son. It does not apply to everyone. There are about 5 or 6 of you that do have already not only an elective class, but a fifth class already. If you have any confusion in that, please reach out to me right away today on that course. And so Mrs. Vollmers and I will be kind of monitoring this fifth class also. Also this week, pushed out to you, Lucas made a little short video for all of you, and document followed on which you can create access to your son's live real-time coursework. So if you have any issues with that or questions, please let me know. When you jump into the courses, it may look something like this, but if you're having a problem accessing with password, usernames, or just accessing this document, please let me know. I know a couple of you did this week, and thank you for reaching out. So I want to be able to help guide you through that process. Also, where have we been this week? We just completed some really some earlier necessary pieces that are required in all education platforms throughout the state of Michigan, the NWEA and the EDPs, other known as Educational Development Plans. So your son is just actually wrapping up the EDPs as of today, still receiving some of those. And the NWA is a good snapshot where their academic growth, it measures growth, and we use that as educators to see if their growth matches their achievement, or there's any gaps within there. That's a tool that we use. But it is quite revealing. So what I want to share with you today, in the bottom right-hand corner of this little slide, you'll see I'll share a Google folder. In that Google folder, I'm going to share with you individually your son's documentation from EDPs and NWA, and also an ongoing live document I use for communication that I want you to have access to. So look forward to this folder to being pushed out to you early next week. As we wrap up today's video update, check up from the neck up, I call it, I just want to let you know that I am going to also give you some access to a landing page where your son can come to if there's any MIPS information that needs to go out. This will also be accessible for you. I'll be pushing that out to you to invite you to this. So if you see an invite, it says Power Play on it. It's from me giving you access to this Google Classroom. It's not something your son has to be involved with every day. I may put an email out and say, hey, or a text to them, check your Power Play Classroom. I do have a quick little piece I want you to work on today or put on your radar for the week. So that is what we have on our radar coming forth going into this week. I'm looking forward to meeting your son personally, face-to-face on Tuesday. Making the trek, looking forward. I haven't seen them in about 3 weeks, and just seeing if I can do anything to support their needs. In closing, I wanted to reach out and also remind you and how much we appreciate, and for me personally, it's an honor to work alongside Ms. Malmers to support your son through Michigan International Prep School. But I want to thank you for choosing MIPS. And I also not only want to thank you for choosing MIPS, but I also want you to know that we have a dynamic team that I feel so well supported. There's nothing more, I think, valuable as your son's being supported by all the people who are supporting, not individuals, but the structure of USA Hockey. I, too, am supported by a wonderful leadership team. As I shared with you last week, the art of leadership is one of my passions. I read about it often. As a matter of fact, I just ordered the book Legacy that the boys have been reading. I'm really intrigued by the New Zealand rugby team and that whole history of the legacy of what it means. So, MIPS is created its own legacy of a foundation of some phenomenal leaders that I'm proud to be a part of. And I just want to take this time to thank you for choosing MIPS, and let us know if I can't help you. I got a wonderful team behind me that's going to find the answers to any of your sons or your questions you have. And finally, once again, if you need to reach out to me, take a look at the bottom right-hand corner. There's some contact information. Look forward to communicating with you this week. If any questions, I'm Phil Quinlan. I'm a representative of MIPS International Prep School, and it's an honor to serve your son. Have a blessed weekend. We'll keep in touch. Look forward to sharing out next week's message. Take care.